Yeah. That's real life. We went bankrupt. They told me not to like read too much and stuff because we just want to talk. We went bankrupt to fix it. Point is, trust me, we didn't fix it. It's fake what you're hearing. Oh, it come back, right? You know, we got restaurants and stuff downtown. It's fake. They're taking all the money with the tax incentives for the billionaires downtown. It's a tax shelter. In the neighborhoods, we don't have police. They lie about, want to know what the response time for 911 is? For priority 1 and priority 2? In LA, they measure priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. In Detroit, it's 40 minutes. It's 18 minutes when gunshots are heard. Can you imagine around here, 18 minutes with gunshots? Would you live like this? Does anybody have to live like this? I'm not even a liberal. Just equity. We're all paying. See that little boy? God, he's a beautiful kid, smart. We're going to fuck him. We are. And then my kid can't do well if that kid doesn't do well because she's living next to a sore. The mayor now, I'm going to get him indicted. I quit my job. What I did was I was at the New York Times, based in L.A. Love L.A. By the way, Los Angeles. This is called the book. No, just kidding. I did that once. That they got mad. My wife and I had our first and only child. I stayed at home. I quit the New York Times, stayed at home. She worked at LAUSD. And about a year into this, I'm like, we're not from here. We're from there. That's where Grandma is. So we moved home. And when I got there, I just could not believe it. It's Detroit, ladies and gentlemen. We built it. We built the country. We were the richest city. We had the most home ownership. We had everything. So how is it we have nothing? Do not ignore us. We are your cousin. We are a human family. We are an American family. So when I left here, I was doing this for years. I miss you. Look at us. Hey, look at us. So you saw him. So I'm so honored to be here. I am. Let's be together. Pay attention to what I'm doing in Detroit. Because we're going to get that guy indicted. Because we went bankrupt. This was a couple years ago. I left. I went to Detroit News. I quit there because it's in the book. It's in the book. A cop got a bullet through the face answering a call. The judge went into the docket and changed it after he caught the bullet. The attorney general's guy called me. It was one of those Serpico things, you know. Back alley, coffee, documents. It's kind of fun being a reporter. It's really fun. Oh, shit. This guy wasn't supposed to be on the street. And judges make mistakes, so I'm not there to, pillory anybody. But when you change it, it's always in the cover. I go to the boss, I say, boss, they cut it, they kill it. That's what's going on with our press. We're spineless. I went to Cal Berkeley for journalism school. I never believed in the fourth estate and where you keep your whole power, But it's true. As you mature and you grow older, you realize, right? It's nice to have us chewing on your ass. It keeps you honest. It's true. But as David Simon, you all know David, right? He did The Wire and, The Corner. It's a great book. He just gave an interview a couple of days ago. He said, this has to be the penultimate moment for corrupt politicians because we don't exist anymore. Our newspapers are dead. It's like scrappy little websites do not fill the void of what a newspaper, not TV, because they just steal from the newspaper. We're dying. So, you are meaningful. People that like words and ideas. Because if you don't exist, then that kid's screwed, my kid's screwed, your grandkids are screwed. So what I did was I quit Fox 2 because I called Trump. I called him early. His first press conference, I was there, and I brought my resume. So you need a vice president, sir? Because you're not saying it right. Right? He laughed, the media laughed, and that's the only time they ever laughed together again. But I was right. And I remember the night that he got elected, and all the anchorman. Oh, it is a shame. So I told you. You guys are clueless. Reporters don't live with the people. That's why you won't read us anymore, because we're boring. It doesn't reflect our lives. Right? But numbers matter. The best reporters know numbers. And then they can make them come alive, because numbers represent things like dollars and human beings and parts per billion. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I'm just thinking about it. So now I quit. Now we got a mayor. Our last mayor went to prison. It's all in the book. 28 years, world record. The black guy got a world record, 28. We still don't know what he took or how much, but he got the world record. The white guy that took his place is actually the machine head. His name is Mike Duggan. You can tell him, I hope he's listening, because he's taking a month off to be with his family, because those indictments are coming, and I did it. Right? I love democracy, because if it doesn't work, it's patient. We're going to wait. We're going to do the next one and the next one until we get it right, because evil never prevails, and nor does goodness. They're a cycle. They're yin and yang. They each have their moment. So don't lose heart. Don't worry about the shit show in Washington. This is what matters. You pay attention to us, please. We need you. We need you. We need you. You want me to read something, or should we just talk? All right, questions? Yes, sir. The Detroit Museum? Oh, the Art Museum. Okay. Okay. Who's broke? Who's like not, who can't afford a book? Then I'm going to give it to the mariachi guy. The DIA, the Detroit Institute of Arts, we went bankrupt. The city owns that art. It's a massive collection, Impressionism, it's impressive. The Fords, Edsel Ford. And so we're trying to scrape. Basically, Detroit was going through the cushions looking for change. You saw the video. We got not the basic stuff. We're rationing gas today because our infrastructure's so bad. They told everybody to turn down the heat. It's 15 below. Detroit. So in the bankruptcy, were we going to sell the art? What were we going to do? So what happened was the foundations that are connected to oh, by the way, nothing wrong with being rich. It's a good goal to have. And if you get there and you did it the right way, then I appreciate you. I want to be like you. If you're rich the wrong way, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. I'm going to kick you in the balls. I'm going to chew on your kneecap. Right? Right? It's okay to have money. I want to have money. I want to live righteously. So what are we going to do? Either we're going to sell the art, or we're going to keep the art, and the foundations come and they give some money. But they never really did. Because, hey, Jerry, you know about, like the Trump's tax cut, right? The opportunity zones? You all know what opportunity zones are? Yeah. It's distressed cities. They are tax shelters. They want to draw investment in there, right? So if you have capital gains, stocks, properties, bridges, whatever you have, you can park your money in the opportunity zone, and you'll make a 4% return after tax. Basically, it's a tax shelter. And if you put the money in there, whatever grows, whatever capital gains from that, you pay zero. So when you're seeing these massive development projects, I don't know if LA is one, probably not. All of Detroit downtown is an opportunity zone. All of Flint is an opportunity zone. So you can't get in because you don't have those kind of capital gains. You know what I mean? It's not your 401k. Besides, if you took that out, you get hit at 30%. You get what I'm saying? It's big money. So that's how they recoup. You have to watch how the money flows. It's very boring, but you kind of what you do is you put on a bathrobe and go to a lady's house to make people pay attention. Because we nailed them with numbers. The museum, you know what they did? Besides the museum, saving it, the way that Detroit came out of bankruptcy is they took everybody's pensions, cut them. All the health care, gone. Who's retired? And not 65. Who's between 55 and 65? Okay, so no cops here. Too bad. I like cops. No health care. Old secretaries, no health care. If you're a cop and you don't get Medicare or Social Security because you didn't pay into it, that's why you had the pension and the health. They're screwed. Now, in the meantime, you go across the street from the Detroit Institute of Arts, and if you look at the board of directors, they're all the mayor's pals. They all contribute. It's easy to see. And you turn, and you see the public library where the little boy goes. Steps are falling in. They cut the budget. It's a beautiful, it's like Beaux Arts. It's beautiful. The steps are collapsing. It's a shithole. So I always said, I don't care if we sell the art, because you know what's in there? Art purchased from European Jews in the early part of the century, trying to get out, trying to save their children. That's why they sold this beautiful art, and we got it for a dime. So why not? Let's save the kids. But we got an art museum, and you're not coming to it. I know you're not. Let's not fool ourselves. There's no quick fix in this country. You got to do the hard work, roll up your sleeves, right? Roads aren't really great for ribbon cuttings, but our roads are falling apart. I don't know what we did, but I do love it, and I love the fight. And you know what? You know, Flint. You want to know what happened in Flint for real? This is Michigan, right? We're just going to do this. This is the Great Lake. They have a pipe. This goes to Flint, and this one goes to Detroit. And Detroit runs the water system for southeastern Michigan. Flint's, that's where UAW was born. That's where GM's from. It's worse than Detroit. Oh my God. So the people in Flint decided, well, the water rate, Detroit's ripping us off. So you know what we're going to do? Even though we're broke in receivership like Detroit, we're going to build a new system. And we're not going to change the price of water. It's going to be the same to pay for. You got to pay your mortgage. But in 50 years, our grandkids are probably going to pay less. Like, what politician ever did something for the grandkid paying less 50 years? You know what it was? Contracts, contributions, trade jobs. It was the gangsters. We didn't need this. So here's how they financed it. But once you finance something, you got to start paying, right? You buy the house. That mortgage is due, bro. But they're going to pay the mortgage once the thing's built. But that's going to take a couple of years. So what do? Drink out of the river. Well, we got to treat the water. Oh, we got this old 60-year-old mothballed plant that used to treat the river. Okay. So the money they saved by giving you pig swill was going to finance this thing that they didn't need. Except they never upgraded the plant. They basically just pumping the river into your house, and it's not lead. Jerry, we grew up with lead in the gas, did we not?
I did.
Okay, I don't know what his excuse is. Yeah, lead gas, lead gasoline.
I thought you were talking about the water pipe.
No, lead in the gasoline, lead in the paint.
Yeah.
If your house is built prior to 72, look at the water coming in. It's a lead pipe. It's not the lead. The lead just caught your imagination. Kids are not going to die from lead. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sure I get yelled at by some hippie or whatever, but the water was brown. Had E. coli in it. It had methane in it. It had legionnaires in it. Anybody could see when it's coming out of the tap. You're not drinking that. You wouldn't let a dog drink it. And we did. And when I figured it out, because now, you know, the feds there's a big case going on, I did it. I did it with the TV and you know, public school and the numbers. I figured it out. And through years of being around the country, knowing how it works, all I was going to do is campaign contributions. You see it. Oh, everybody that's got a piece of this thing gave it to the drain commissioner. The drain commissioner is able to bond out at will. He's able to borrow money. Boom. And when it was all said and done, the drain commissioner ran unopposed in Flint. So you see, if the people don't know, people aren't stupid. They're ignorant to facts. And when you give them the facts, they're not ignorant anymore because they're not stupid. And when this goes away, what do you think we're going to do? Tell me. I'm going to get on a plane, switch in Minneapolis, and have no answers. said you were the oracle. That's for you. Well, yes.
What do
Sure.
you think, it was such a wonderful, city, back in the day when I grew up there.
Such a wonderful city back in the day.
What caused it? What was
Oh.
the main reason?
That's good.
Yeah, what happened?
Race happened. We are the only city in the United States of America that was occupied by the United States Army 3 times. We've had 3 fiery race riots. One in 1863 during the Civil War, one in 1943 during the Second World War, and one in 1967 during the Vietnam War. That's 1. 2, international competition. We were building piles of shit. Japanese caught us. The oil shocks. That was part of it. NAFTA killed us. Didn't work. Sorry. We all know it. Trump figured out to say it. He got there first. I'm sure he'll be out. I'm pretty sure. But my mom voted for Trump, so don't do that. I don't even want to I don't like to pick on Trump because then I don't want to be an enemy of my brother, my cousin, or my neighbor. You pick, that's fine, we deal with it. It's not a statement on you. I read it. I understand why. This is part of the answer. The Reagan Democrat from Macomb County, you guys know about that, Macomb County, the blue-collar guy that went Republican. My brother works in Warren Stamping Plant. I know those guys. When Trump redid NAFTA, okay, the USMCA, the 16 and the new thing that we haven't gotten done, no reporter came to Macomb County to talk to them about this thing that he delivered Trump because of. But when you talk to the dude, because they're running 3 shifts, there's a midnight shift, they get off at 8. There's a bar, it's Thursday, paycheck's there, man, you know that bar's full. I walk in there, this guy's name's Jimmy, I think, and he goes, yeah, it's all right. He goes, I am at a raise. I'm making 18. I started in 2003 when I was making 9. I'm like, well, it's not very good. He goes, and I got health care, but my kid's sick, so the deductible, I don't get dental, and he does this. And it's like a rotten picket fence. What was Jimmy saying? I'll give you the egghead version. Wages are stagnant. There are no benefits. Health care is too much, right? All this stuff, all the harumphy anchormen talk about. That's the real life Jimmy. Jimmy ain't making it. Can't you hear it? We're not making it out there. We're scared. There's no money for college. They told us to turn our gas down because somebody stole the infrastructure money. We pay a lot. Flint pays the highest water rates in the country, and it's on Lake Huron. It's not funny. That's Detroit. Detroit, the other book I wrote was Shit Show. Detroit, the thesis is, are we an outlier? Are we just freaks? You guys laugh at us, and God, Detroit's a funny little thing. Are we the epicenter of this thing called America? Are you next? And then Shit Show was, I went into Roger Ailes' office, say, Raj, give me the camera, and let me go around the country and see. And it's not a supposition, it's not a theory, it's a fact. Yeah, you're Detroit too. LA, okay. Governor Jerry Brown, ladies and gentlemen. I like him. I'm sorry. I voted for the guy. The pension cliff. We can't make our obligation. LA's not funded. Chicago's not funded. Baltimore's not funded. Right? Tell us the truth. It's going to be a bitch. Here, tell him.
I can't say.
He can't say. No comment. No comment. But that's what hit Detroit. LA's like in the hole. The unfunded pension obligations in the state of Illinois are $270 billion.
900 billion in California.
900 billion.
No, not true.
Okay, not true. This is good. Huh? Okay, but we're doing it respectfully, right? Okay, because he didn't do it. Everybody wants stuff, then we don't pay for it. Okay. More or less, not 9.
It's not 900.
6.
Are you talking about the
Unfunded pension.
all the cities
Yeah, the whole deal.
in the state?
Yeah.
That's all. I haven't seen that number. It's not 900. It depends on what the return is going to be for the next 30 years. You're not talking about due today.
Right.
You're talking about paying an obligation over the next 30 years.
We're going to smooth that, actuarially
But
speaking.
there
And
are ways to modify them.
okay, watch
We
this.
started doing that.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. You did good stuff.
We're raising the retirement age.
That's not good.
We have, the Supreme Court is considering modifying existing pensions, and so.
That haven't been earned yet, yeah.
That haven't been earned yet.
Right.
So there are a variety of ways that the state will manage very well. Some of the cities, I think, are much bigger problem, and they're gonna have to cut their pensions.
Yes.
More. But the law doesn't allow them to cut it yet, but I think the law will be changed by the Supreme Court over the next couple of years.
Yes. You got
So I
that?
think there are ways to
But 900 billion.
modify it and to make the pensions more realistic.
We have to do painful things. We have. Well, let's do it later because I'm in Michigan, bro. I know, but you want to know the state with the worst credit rating, the one that's gonna. My buddy, I was a Michigan football cheerleader. Go Blue. I would do it with this one, but I blew that out a couple of weeks ago. I'm getting a little bit old. Lehman Brothers. He was on their board. He's semi-retired now. I should have done Lehman. He wasn't allowed to own stock. That son of a bitch. You know, he wasn't allowed to own Lehman stock.
Back to Detroit.
Okay, we'll do Connecticut later.
Look at the choreography of the destruction of Detroit. What you have is it peaked in effect too soon. So the infrastructure got old. Combine that with racial and demographic changes, and then add a dose of crime, and then have those 67 riots, and then have the national psyche alarmed by the night before Halloween, which I guess is called Devil's Night. We called it Mischief Night on the East Coast. Instead of, a roll of toilet paper
Soap.
and a tree, and it became, wow, burn down.
Burn, baby, burn.
So, how you want to accelerate white flight? That is a majestic formula.
Yeah.
Accelerating white flight.
Are you kidding? Yeah, it burns and it's broke and it's bloody.
That's a short history of what happened.
Well, there's also this too, because yes, there's also this. I left off at NAFTA. Don't forget the real estate collapse. Don't forget that. Don't forget credit default swaps. Everybody. Detroit was never very good growing up when I was there. It was ugly, industrial. I came home after being here and go, what the fuck happened? I mean, it's really bad now. We had 100,000 home foreclosures in the last decade. 100,000. So, everybody cashes in, you get your mortgage, walk away from it. Why did Detroit burn? Started with GM's going to go into Pole Town, right? So people, they're going to get paid for their property, but they lit it on fire so they can collect the insurance. So it's a money game. That's why it didn't really burn because people are just wilding. It really burned because we're leaving, we can't sell it. Let's get the insurance. Yes, everything. There's no work. Graft, you forgot about graft. We do it spectacularly. We do. I mean, they just steal everything. Nothing gets done right. You're right, man. It's a good short history. But we're still there. We're not Martians. That kid, you're responsible for him. Again, not a liberal. Catholic. Sometimes. You're responsible for him. Yes, madam.
Do you have any concept? I agree with you, and I worked government in Detroit through all those years.
You did?
I did.
Hi, sister. Hold on, so he's taking a picture. I'm sorry.
Coleman, young years, Marion Happier, and Henderson, the whole crowd.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have positive, concrete action steps that can be taken now.
Yes.
Because I live and I work and I organize.
Yes. You live there now?
Well, I'm going home.
Okay, good. Sister, Mike Duggan, keep an eye on it. I'm going to peel it down. See, because Kwame Kilpatrick was a piece of the machine. They made him. It came from McNamara, the county. Ed McNamara from Livonia, the whitest city in America. Right? Number 1. Mike Duggan from Livonia. Number 3 is Bernard Kilpatrick from Detroit, the blackest city in America. His son is Kwame Kilpatrick. The number 4 in that machine, the corporation counsel, was Jennifer Granholm. You know, y'all think she's nice. You like Barbara McQuaid on MSNBC, don't you? You have no idea. So, you sent us $500 million to tear our homes down. The houses you saw, right? We stole it. After the mayor went to prison, I'm being positive. The positivity is you keep fighting until it's peace, until it's right. The positivity is we're alive. The positivity is whoever drew up the documents, those orderly documents called the United States, the Constitution, they apply. It's positive. What do you want me to do? Hey, man, we're making watches again. You want me to talk about Shinola? We got apple cider. Great Lakes are nice. Even the Tigers will be back. What do you want from me? I'm a reporter. We're negative people. That would be, see, writing a book about what's positive in Detroit is like being a foreign correspondent and they station you in the Gaza Strip and you're writing about the surf report. Sure, there's nice things going on in Gaza. I'm not told about them. But I know there's life going on. And that's what's positive. That's what's positive, madam, is it's home. And it is beautiful. She's got some problems. Roll up our sleeves, we fix them.
And what's the next step? We're fixing them. How?
Indict the mayor. Oh, you know, I'm mad at him. He sued me 5 times for defamation. I didn't go to Specs Howard School of Broadcasting Arts. I went to Cal Berkeley. We studied law. You can't sue me. First Amendment, dummy. And it's true. Take them out because the machine runs Michigan. It's not cool. How did Flint get poisoned, man? How did governor's men escape it? That's what I'm involved in. I'll let everybody else be positive. My priest is a good dude. He liked the book. And then once I gave him the book, he turned into wavy gravy. I swear to God, he's like a hippie. He's like, keep it loose, brother. I'm like, what? Guy's 80 years old. Keep it loose, brother. I'm like, yeah, I know. I should have wrote it before. He likes good wine. That's it? Go ahead. No, go ahead. You go. Dan Gilbert, yes. I told you about the opportunity zone. Yeah, great, awesome. Is he trying to bring business? There's no business come to Detroit. Amazon didn't come to Detroit. Microsoft's not in Detroit. It's sort of air. He's got a, look, he's got a, it's called Quicken Loans. Mortgage originators. They don't even issue them. They sell them off to Countrywide after they're done. He's got to get out. You see what the interest rates are doing, right? Like the refi's over. Number 2, his federal corruption trial starts in March. Doesn't it? For his bad origination after the collapse. Dan Gilbert is able to hustle the county for money, you know, the downtown, blah, blah, blah. They've convinced us with the help of the lapdog media that our courthouse should be given to Dan Gilbert so he can develop it, and our jail, our whole complex, and that we should build a new one next to the trash incinerator and dump. You think I'm lying? Google it. I was working for the Broken Down website. I was the only reporter when they made the switch. And the corrupt downtown jail before then, I'm the one that ended that by math with Bob Ficano. And Barbara McQuaid would not indict the Democratic machine that needs to be indicted because they steal. Like the Republicans in Lansing need to be indicted because they kill. Again, not a nut. not a liberal, not a conservative. I am a father of a 12-year-old girl, which makes me a little conservative. You know what I mean? If not for who, then not for her. What are we doing here? That's what's positive. She's beautiful. She's really smart, and she's kind. I'm sick. I'm sorry. She is. Yours too. Bro. Fuck. These are hard to do. Okay, I want to do like a sweeping history. My LeDuff, there's a guy, the first LeDuff in the United States was black and white, Charlie LeDuff. He was a slave. And his father, my very great-grandfather had two families, one in Martinique and one in New Orleans, right? This was his black family, and that was his white family. And he left them a lot of money, and emancipated them. It was his wife. And then my grandpa Jock was a privateer. He was a pirate. He was with Lafitte. It's all written down. He bought a plantation outside of Louisiana. So the Lafitte brothers, were ripping off boats, and it was contraband. He goes broke. They move into the middle of New Orleans, Creole people. By the end of it, my great-grandfather's illiterate. He's a carpenter. His dad's a sharecropper. Starts making his way in the Great Migration up to Detroit, stealing chickens. It's a good family history. And he's light-skinned. And he gets to Detroit, and he went from M, you can see it in the census in 1900, M, mulatto, to W, white. And then his son, my grandpa, was a pal of Jimmy Hoffa's. He made the numbers at the Detroit race course. It's like Middlesex, but better. And it ends up with, is this being recorded? All right, one of my brothers does that, that internet shit, the sex. You just meet somebody you don't know, you fuck them and you go. I mean, my other brother lives near the highway. He's pulling his teeth out with pliers because he didn't have any dental care. I'm like, this great, majestic history of ours ends up like this. I might write that, or I'm thinking, why don't I go to Europe and do an update? I don't want to rip him off because Sir Anthony said you don't want to associate yourself with Orwell, young man. But down and out in Paris and London, why don't I update it? Why don't I be an illegal migrant and work? Because Europe, you think this is a mess? Russia has the new Putin. Italy has Russia has the new Stalin. Italy has the new Mussolini. Austria has the new Hitler. Spain has the new Franco. The UK has the new Chamberlain. Germany's got camps. Denmark's got official ghettos. When Europe loses its mind, then the world burns. Oh, and by the way, Detroit. See? 2008 is not over. We're only seeing it now. Right? You see it. Look at Brazil, Mexico, Venezuela, Egypt. Look at it. Look what happened. And I don't want to get political, but the wealth moved. We got to have some of it or we get crazy. And by the way, this is the most dangerous room. The middle, who has some means, the ones that pay for everything, right? You pay for everything. The rich don't pay what they should, I feel, and the poor can't pay. And they continually lean on you. You are the people. Don't forget us. And by the way, go to deadlinedetroit.com. Pete Carmanos is behind it. So when the mayor sues me, it's billionaire Pete. No, I don't think so, Mike. Now Mike's taking a month off. Did you ever take a month off as governor? A month? Why? Watch these indictments come. I won't take it. I won't take it. Anything else? What's the unemployment rate in Detroit right now? Depends on who you want to believe. I'd say really about 40%. They'll tell you it's like 9. The 60% of the children live in poverty still. This is post-bankruptcy. The schools are a disaster. They're the worst in the country. The state of Michigan, however, is in the bottom 5 states for white kids, black kids, and rich kids. You know, we stop doing the race thing. Like, I understand what it's done, and the class. We just have to decide we're going to fix this. Or we don't. Fine. Yes, ma'am.
Where does your daughter go to school?
She goes to Shrine Catholic School, which I was public my whole life. My wife was Catholic her whole life. And basically, when we sent her to public schools, she could read and write. And then when she was, by the end of the year, she was making her letters backwards, which is developmental. But it also shows you the more advanced kids don't get any attention because we need to make the scores, right? So we got to get and that's good to pay attention to kids that's struggling, but then the kids that can fly are grounded. And by the way, the federal breakfast program, by the time it goes from my pocket to the feds to the state to the school district, it went from orange juice to orange drink. I paid for pulp. Some connected guy. How much? I look at it like this. In Detroit, you made it when you're driving a German car. It's just weird. And I'm like, who can afford one? What is it you do for a living? And my general thing is, well, you're either a lawyer who's connected to the government or you're a contractor who's connected to the government. Because we're not really, GM's closing the last plant in Detroit. There will be no GM things made in the city of Detroit. You cannot buy a Cadillac in the town founded by Cadillac. Right, man? You're going, what the fuck? Yeah. But again, I'm going to shake her hand because I think I'm freaking her out. We're awesome. You smell nice. That's something positive. All right, let me read just a little bit. Oh, no, this is cool, great. What's happening with the Detroit News and the Free Press? Layoffs. I was there 10 years ago and they were cutting people. It's hilarious. Remember the old movies where it'd be, the newsroom, news here, right? You're like the cop shop or City Hall. There's one reporter in City Hall. We got 4 major TV stations, 2 major dailies, the business rag, one reporter in City Hall, and they put her in the basement next to the files for court, and it's near the toilets. It's pathetic. And she called me yesterday because she's a youngin'. And I'm her mentor, not her editor, because they're scared. Why don't we do positive things? Because she knows about Duggan. And she's a crackerjack, and they don't want to. Put it this way. This is better. They sold the newspaper buildings, the Detroit Free Press and Detroit News, and they moved into a Dan Gilbert building. And Dan Gilbert's got cameras in the newsroom. In the newsroom. I did a freelance piece for him. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's like a morgue. There's no verve. I feel sad for it. But if it's going to end with us, I don't want to be the guy to be blamed. I feel we should really go for it. If there's any money left, use it, let them sue us, and spend it in court. It's like this. You're the captain of a galleon, and there's no water, and we're going to die, and there's a huge storm. And the captain says, we got to go around that. And the first mate says, well, we're going to die. Why don't we just drop sail, go right through it, we'll collect the rain on the deck, and if we make it, we'll live. But the editors and publishers are the kind of skipper that wants to go around it. Plus, they drink with Dan Gilbert. They drink with Mike Duggan. They're oligarchs too. Right? You want to know how to make money? Is that it? Oh, okay.